Antoine is going to be crowned your WR Season 10 champion.
And history's been made. Ballina, the first WOR PS4 champion. What a championship! What a season! Phenomenal!
Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to World Online Racing League. Yes, we are back after a long break in Tier 2, and to be honest, we are really excited to get underway. I hope you enjoyed the break that we had, and we are ready to get going. Last time out, we were at Silverstone, but now we head to the amazing Mexico City for the Mexican Grand Prix, and I'm sure it's going to be absolutely fantastic. My name is Jess, and I will be your commentator for the rest of the season. And we have had a few changes in terms of the calendar and also in terms of the, well, pretty much everything, to be honest. The calendar and the lineup as well has pretty much changed, with some drivers migrating over to Tier 1 for the rest of the season, and we had some new reserve drivers that are becoming full-time drivers, and also some new faces as well that have joined WOR very, very recently as well. So good to have them on board, and I'm sure that even though we have quite a lot of new drivers this season, for the rest of the season, the action is just going to be just as epic. So before we actually go and briefly talk about the lineup, let's look at the calendar that we have got. So obviously we are at Mexico tonight, which is going to be the first round for a while, actually. First opened in Formula 1 back in 1959. Well, the track was built in 1959. It was built by Ricardo and Pedro Rodriguez, and Formula 1 cars actually arrived in the scene back in 1962 for a non-championship race, and then the 1963 race was when Formula 1 was there for real, and Jim Clark won that race as well. This track sits over 2 kilometers above sea level, making it a 4.3 kilometer lap, a breathless experience. Then next week, we head to one of the newest tracks on the calendar. Well, 2 new tracks in a row, which is very, very exciting. We head to Portimao on November 21st. We've got a couple of weeks break because there's a few Grand Prix to be taken care of, and obviously we don't want you guys to miss those Grand Prix. But Portimao, I've driven it quite a lot of times on this game, and I'm starting to get the hang of it now, and I think the drivers are starting to get the hang of it too. It's such a nice flowing track, but for overtaking, it's quite difficult. So they need a lot of skill, and since we don't have any previous seasons to go by, maybe another league potentially, but not in WOR, this gives a huge indication to what their pace is like, and everyone's going to be at an even playing field for that one. On November 28th, we go to Imola for the first time in pretty much a long time, actually. I think the first time it was on the game was F1 2010, F1 2011, F1 2012, which I can't remember exactly throughout the top of my head, but it was very exciting, and obviously the real life races were incredible in 2020 and 2021 because they were brought in to help with the COVID pandemic. Then we head to Saudi Arabia on December the 5th. Hopefully Saudi Arabia track should be good to go by then, and maybe Codemasters actually get their act together and get it done actually before the real life track of Saudi Arabia. But there we go. And then finally, on December the 12th, for the final round of the championship, we head to one of my favourite circuits to ever host a championship finale. It is Brazil. And then we would know who is our champions by then as well. So even though the short season than intended, obviously, we had to wait until obviously the desync problems were sorted. There's hardly any desync problems now on the PC, which is good news. It was tested a few weeks ago by the PC Tier 1 boys, and it went very well. So that's why we are allowed to go racing tonight. So it's time to reveal the driver lineups for the rest of this season. And we got a full lobby tonight as well, which is fantastic. So in the Mercedes tonight, we got Pritch 27 and Joshua Kazani. In the Red Bull, we have Neon and Kerfuffle. In the McLaren, we have Eduardo Garcia and Days Rhombus. In the Ferrari, we have Dead and Higgsy. In the AlphaTauri, we have JC and Jay Verhaar. In the Aston Martin, we have Top Jack and Mr. Anker. In the Alpine, we have Cookie and Racing Stin. In the Alfa Romeo, we have Luca and Christian Sendel. In the Williams, we have Peroni and Morgan Bull. And in the Haas, we have Celia and Mark 313. Now, you probably noticed when we're about to get into the lobby very, very shortly that some of those drivers are not here tonight due to other reasons, so they've been replaced by reserves. So Sergio Sobrino is replacing Edward Garcia tonight. Edar's GG is replacing, I don't even know what his gamer tag is. I don't know, it's hard to tell. Is replacing Perondi in the Williams. Peso is replacing Pritch 27 in the Mercedes for tonight, and Dewey is replacing Top Jack. So those are the reserves, and obviously we also got Lefted as well here too, which is great news. He was full time for a little bit, and then he was filling in for Tier 1, but now he's in as reserve for Tier 2, which we couldn't be more excited about. Expect him to be the ones to watch, really. So qualifying has just got underway. So without further ado, if I get all my telemetry sorted out, a lot of people are actually getting on to the track, so I better get there quickly as I can. Let's get started then with some racing. So here we go at this beautiful, beautiful track in Mexico. Now, this is what I like to call track limit central, because there's some other tracks which I can tell you people can get a lot of penalties with, the likes of obviously United States, Austria as well is quite common, and I think the drivers have got a particular watch out for Sector 2, as Luca has just explained right there as well, because we've seen in Tier 1 earlier on that obviously we had a few invalidations there which could cost people on their lap times as well. And you pass the baseball stadium there, which the track runs through, has played host musical acts in the past such as Madonna, U2, Coldplay, The Killers, and One Direction. So let's ride on board with Luca then as we take you on a hot lap, as MQ's been disqualified for some weird reason. That's a bit hard because he's not even in the game. So this is the famous turns 1 to 3 complex, which is situated on one of the longest straights on the F1 calendar. So it's one of the main overtaking spots. You're going to be swinging the car to the right a little bit, and then we're heading towards turn 2. Power the 4 down through turn 3. That gives you the best exit onto the main straight. Left-hand curve, they go and heading towards turn 4 and turn 5. Light turn 3, there's plenty of runoff on the outside, but don't use more than a wheel's width unless you want, obviously, a time penalty. Now past turn 6 and heading towards turn 7, which is going to be the start of Sector 2. Be careful that you don't run too wide there as well, but unfortunately he has invalidated, so he's not going to be setting a lap time. But Sally actually goes fast at the moment with a 1:14.9. Let's go on board with Pasos. We already seen people go past the stadium section, and it's 1:14.6. Now we saw drivers in Tier 1 going to the 1:13s, 1:12s, which was very, very exciting. And just to let you know, there was a few queries in the chat asking if I was a boy or a girl. I am a girl. Just saying, just to let you know on that one. As Morgan Bull actually goes fastest with a 1:14.2. Now this gives me a good opportunity in a second to go through the championship standings, but Morgan Bull actually got fast in the final sector, which was good news. Let's see who else on the lap. Neon goes into 5th place at this moment in time. Kerfuffle actually goes in to the pit lane. We got a few Williams into the pits as well, so some drivers were not very happy with their lap, so they're potentially very keen to go out again. And we had Lefty that goes fast. So I did say he was a man to watch out for. What about his teammate as he goes through the stadium section. Remember Sabrino, I can't even say his name. I do apologise. But he goes past it and he does it very nicely indeed. But he invalidates, unfortunately. What about Christian Sendel? Currently sitting in P16 at the moment. He has also, unfortunately, invalidated Josh. WOR Josh now, since the merge between VRT and WOR happened as well. He has also invalidated. What about Dewey, who's also reserving tonight? He's just passed it into sector 1. Going down this back straight here as well. Very, very tight. He runs a bit wide there. And I was a bit worried it was going to be an invalidation, but he's probably lost a few tenths of a second there. And that probably cost him a chance to get into the top half of the field. But you never know. Anything could happen in Formula 1, and it usually does, as he is rocking the Aston Martin livery for tonight. Now, but some of these drivers, they may not be motivated to do well due to the fact, obviously, the championship has already started at the beginning of the season, and some of the drivers have come away new. But for me, if I was in that situation, as Drew's going very slow now, so he's probably backed off a bit, you probably want to see where you are in comparison to the experienced drivers in this tier, so it can help you improve on this game. And then when you go into the next season of WOR, then you can actually start fighting the championship for real. That's happened to me in, I think, in one league as well. I've gone into a tier where the drivers are much more high caliber than me. They're very, very fast, and I'm just there really to just learn from them and just see, right, what do I need to do to, well, obviously I'm not going to be as fast as them, but try and be as close to them as possible and see where they gain in time and where I'm losing time. So that's what a few people will be doing. Kafuffle, one of the experienced drivers, is about to start his first lap on the board. So we only have 12 lap times on the board. Dewey has not set a representative lap time, but I'm sure he will be doing so very soon. Good to see quite a lot of you in the chat already. Let us know who you think is going to be getting a pole position. And I think MQ was a bit disappointed there in the chat, in our Discord chat that we have. So a bit unfortunate there. So let's see where Kafuffle can get. Kafuffle has got quite a few top fives before, and he's looking to do so at the moment. I'm just trying to see where he is in the standings, actually. He is currently sitting in P9 in the standings. He actually got a podium in Canada, which was the race I actually missed, because obviously I came back, I think, from Glasgow, and I didn't get back in time, and I was absolutely knackered. So the one time he got a podium, I missed it. So hopefully, if he does get a podium, I should be able to witness it tonight, in a way. But you never know when it comes to these type of situations. So Kafuffle is currently sitting in P9 in the standings, 25 points to his name. JC and the drivers that are still left in the league, obviously in tier 2, is currently sitting fastest. On top of the standings, sorry, with 55 points. Then it's Pridge 27 on 44. Then we have Cookie on 41. Kafuffle 25. Mr. Anchor 23. Top Jack on 22. Parondi 21. Days Rombus 20. Oh, as my pop filter just went kaboof there. Didn't want that to happen. Jay Bahahit on 19. Neil on 18. Christian Sendor on 16. Higgsy on 8. And trying to see who. Menet on 8. WR Josh on 6. Luca on 6. Morgan Ball on 4. Rainbow on 4. Mark on 3. Deads on 2. Sally on 1. And Garcia and Racing Stin yet to score. But there's still an opportunity to score here in this league. So these drivers can't afford to give up. And obviously there could be some surprises here at the moment as Kafuffle goes faster for the 1:13.8. I did say somebody would go into the 1:13.8s, but we are there now. So we've got a few drivers going into the pits. Next across the line, I think will be, well, the star of sets 2 at least anyway, is Mr. Anchor. He was the one who got some good results in China with a podium. He got 1 point in, I think it was Austria, but apart from that, he hasn't scored very well. There was a few races where he did not finish, and the bad luck continues for him, unfortunately, as Mr. Anchor has unfortunately invalidated, so he goes into the pit lane. Quite a few drivers on the mediums now. I was having a little bit of research, as to what the strategy was going to be tonight, and there was quite a mixed bag as to what the drivers were going to do. Some people were opting to do soft to hard, which could be quite risky for the drivers, I have to say. And there's most drivers are probably going to be likely either going to be doing soft, medium, medium, or soft, medium, soft. On the last game, 2 stops was quicker due to the undercut, and obviously due to the fact that you're going to be on faster tyres for a little bit longer as well, and you can push more, which is great as well. So I think this is a track where we're going to be seeing a variety of different strategies at the moment with 7 minutes to go. Let's see who else is on a lap. Neon, who is unfortunately invalidated. We got, I think, an Alpine, or is it a Williams? I think it's a Williams, actually. Let's go on board with Racing Sin in the Alpine anyway. Currently sitting 13th. I wonder if some people are going to opt to go on the alternate strategy here tonight. To be honest, that's what I would do in that situation, but as Racing Sin goes 9th fastest, all these drivers are running no assist, by the way. So they have no traction control, no ABS, no racing line to go with, so they've got to rely on their braking zones, and the braking zones around here is very, very tricky. Even though you could just sometimes use the bollards in some parts of the stadium section as reference, they've really got to keep their eyes on the prize, as Sobrano has unfortunately invalidated, and he almost had a bit of a slide going towards the final corner. Josh is having no such troubles though through sector 2. He hasn't invalidated so far, but I'm a bit worried. I'm going to jinx him as he goes through the stadium section, and he's slowed down, so he's probably going to go on another lap, and he's on a battery anyway. It's Cookie! Primos actually goes first on pole position with a 1:13.902, so about 5 100 separating between Primos and Kerfuffle. I think that's how you say your name right as well. Then we got an Aston Martin coming across the line as well. I think he's about to start his lap, actually. No, Kerfuffle is in the pits now, but Anchor is in 19th. And it's hard to track with a lot of drivers obviously going into the pit lane. So I think we got Lefted, who was pole before, who was going to go into the pit lane, and his teammate is coming towards the stadium section now. We also got a Haskar, who I believe is going into the pits too. Let's watch Sergio Sabrina. One of these going to go again, but he's running out of fuel, so don't be surprised if he goes into the pit lane. Which he does go into the pit lane. Actually, no, he doesn't go into the pit lane. But I think he does improve to a 1:15.573. Mr. Angus still said he's on his out lap, so... Oh, nope, he's going on the lap. That is brilliant to see. We've got an AlphaTauri, which I believe is Jay Bahahet, going across the line with a 1:14.2. Puts him in P7. Not a bad lap from him. Dewey's up next, coming towards the final corner. Puts himself into P13. And then I think it is an Alpine up next. Where is the Alpine, actually? It's hard to tell with the colours. Cookie. No, Cookie is going into the pit lane. And I think the Mercedes of Peso will be going into the pits most likely as well. Yes, he does. So we're heading to the final third of this qualifying session. It will be the calm before the storm very soon. And the ones who do not have banker lap times in, well, they may not be looking confident going towards the end, because usually when I go into a qualifying session, I usually like to get my bankers in nice and early, and I usually like to set some good ones, so I know, actually, I can find a bit more time, but if it's not a good lap, my confidence just goes down very low, so let's hope the drivers don't face that as well. Here comes Mark 313, who was reserved a lot for the last bit of the season, but now he's gone to full time, as a Red Bull almost blocked him there, but I believe they're in a hassle, yeah. Red Bull almost blocked in there, but they're in the pits. Now, for a limited time only for this season, we get to see the Turkish Grand Prix livery for the Red Bull, which I have to say looks quite kind of nice. Let us know your opinions about that in the chat as well. I think it was meant to be used in Japan, but Japan obviously got cancelled due to the COVID pandemic. And just a point out the facts about the Mexican Grand Prix, actually. It's been staged at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez 20 times since 1963, and after a 20-year absence, it returned on the F1 calendar back in 2015. So the track was redesigned quite a few times, actually, And it still featured the fearsome band Final Corner, Palderada, in 1986, and the circuit proved popular with drivers despite the bumpy service that the drivers are having to face today as well. And Lotus, McLaren, Williams and Mercedes have been the most successful teams around this circuit, and they have won quite a few Grand Prix each with 2 wins, having 3 times actually, Ferrari and Red Bull on 2 wins as well. Lewis Hamilton is the only driver to have won a title here at the Mexican Grand Prix. Obviously, no one is going to be winning a title here today. But if JC in particular will have to get a good result in order to really set his championship hopes alive and solidify his place in the championship, because obviously he's currently sitting in P1. It's good to see quite a few of you watching at the moment. Let us know your thoughts and let us know where you're listening from as well. So here's our championship leader going towards turn 1 now. 1 minute and 56. I want him, he's going to get a few laps in, and I want him is a strong indication of they're going out now for some of these drivers. Will there be some wet weather running, or will it just be dry? For my sake, I hope it's dry, because obviously driving around Mexico, for my personal experience, I have to say, is awful. As I think JC will probably go on another lap very soon as well. We've just got a few people coming across the line. I think, let's see if Luca's invalidated, so he's going to go out for one final run here as well. As Kerfuffle has parked it in sector 2. Primos, where is he? Primos is in coming towards the S's section now. Mark comes across the line to start his final lap. And then we have his teammate of Sally. We've got a few more timers actually. Higgsy decided to call it a day in qualifying. And what about Sally? 114.999, so I don't think he has improved. What about Lefted? Comes across the line, stays in 4th, but one of he's going to go out one final time. Mercedes driver is not... I think it could be Passo actually. Let's see. Passo's about to start his final lap as well, so it really is the calm before the storm. So make sure that he keeps strapped until the end of this qualifying session. So we'll see where people are in terms of laps then. So we have a few people going towards the middle sector. Dave Rombus, he's 2.5 seconds off in the middle sector. And what about, I'm just trying to find out the other Mercedes actually, of WR Josh, who's going through sector 2. He's off as well. But what about not left, it's Sabrino. Kerfuffle goes P2. So Kerfuffle cannot improve actually. Primos goes out for one final attempt. So the first person to cross the line will be Sergio, who has unfortunately invalidated. So it will be the 2 Mercedes guys up first. So Passo, here he comes through the stadium section. He's got to find a chunk of time, but no, he has invalidated. But there is a Red Bull, an Alpine behind him. No, it's not Morgan Ball because he's in the Williams. Racing Stin, 6 tenths improvement, but can only manage P16. Lefter can only manage P4. Is it Dewey or Mr. Anchor up next? Dewey is in the pits. Mr. Anchor for the stadium section. I think there's a few drivers going out beforehand, so I think the Red Bull of Neon. Neon goes P2. That is a brilliant lap from Neon. I want to see if any of the drivers will improve. What about Mark then? He's slowing down. Morgan, he's a few 100s off his personal best then. I think the 2 Williams are running in tandem at the moment, but no, I don't think Morgan is going to be improving, sadly. And Primos realises that he's done enough and he is going into the pit lane. So that is it then for qualifying here for the first round back for WR PC Tier 2. And it's Primos Mikhailiv, I think that's how I say the name, with a 113.9. I did say they would go into the 113 tonight, and goodness knows I was right there. So I think we're waiting for a few drivers to pretty much retire from the session, because even though they're in the pits, they do need to retire, and then we can get this race underway. I usually don't like to be spoiled about the weather, actually, but I'm actually going to look at the chat, at our chat that we have, and see. Let me have a look. Is there any sign of what the weather's going to be? No, there isn't. Nobody's telling me in the chat. So I think they've learned their lesson for me saying, do not tell. Anyway, Primos on pole. 2/100 of a second clears from Neon. Neon's lap, I think, was superb. The top three was even close. That is how tier 2 is like, people. So, Primos first, Neon, then Kerfuffle, JC, Lefted, Mar, Morgan Ball, Anchor, Jay Verhaar, then Days, Rhombus. Round up your top 10. Now we'll have to start on the softs. Then we have Josh, Luca, Peso, Higgsy, Christian Sendel, Racing Stin, Dewey, Sally, Sabrino, and Emku. Emku, unfortunately, the only driver to receive a disqualification for an unknown reason, which was probably that is because due to his wheel being disconnected. Now, whilst we wait for the session to begin, it gives me a perfect opportunity to talk to you about the Constructors' Championship, which is currently as follows. Red Bull are currently in the lead on 97 points. Alpine in second on 83. Aston Martin third on 78. Ferrari fourth on 76. AlphaTauri fifth on 74. Mercedes sixth on 50. Williams 7th on 32, Alfa Romeo 8th on 22, McLaren 9th on 20, and Haas in last in 4. Just like in real life, they're near the bottom, which is a bit unfortunate there. So, yes. So anyway, let's have a look at our beautiful track map before we get into the session today. So it is 4.34 kilometers long with 17 turns, 7 to the left and 10 to the right, and it has 2 DRS zones, which brings out the best in quite a lot of people. One towards turn 9 and 10, and one towards turn... Actually, no, I think I got the wrong... Actually, there's 3 detection zones. So one between 3 and 4, one between turns 10 and 12, and then one between turn 1 and start finish straight. So there's 3. Excuse me, it's been a while since I've been in WR comms. It's just how I haven't done Mexico Grand Prix commentary on this game, so it is quite hard to tell at times. But anyway, and it would actually help if I actually get into the session now. So let's get started. So we'll go through the tyres as well. So let me just do that. Hide the UI and let's get started. So here we go then. So tyres that we have available. So we have Josh on the mediums, Luca on the mediums, Peso on the mediums, Higgsy on the mediums, Christian Sender on the mediums, Racing Stin on the mediums, Dewey on the softs, Sally on the hards, Sabrino on the mediums, and MQ on the mediums. So I think Sally will probably want to do, hard to soft. I think the ones on the softs could be doing a 2-stop, but there may be some people doing the 1-stop strategy, soft to hards. And the ones on the mediums, they're in a little bit of an unknown. Are they going to do medium to hard? Are they going to do medium, soft, softs? We don't know. It's going to be very, very exciting. So make sure you stay tuned. As the drivers are lining up on the grid for the first time in a while, in almost a month, 2 months. I've been absolutely pumped all week about this. For the last few weeks, I've been excited to get underway. Once we found out that Tier 2 was getting underway again, I could not believe my ears. And I know you guys are going to be very, very excited about this. So we're about to get the 5 red lights as we're waiting for the last couple of people to make it to their grid starts. I'm going to go on board with Kerfuffle. Just give me a second. As it's going to take a while for the lights to show. There we go. The 5 red lights are on. PC Tier 2 is about to get underway once again right now. And let's see who gets a better start. Neon gets a good start, but Primos tries to cover off it. Heading in towards turn 1. Don't forget this very long straight. So You think you might miss it, to be honest with you, and we try to get a few people side by side. We could go three abreast here as well. The Haas also making moves from Mark as well. JC also having a good start as well. Looks like everyone has made it through very, very cleanly as they head towards past turn 3 now, and now heading towards turn 4. No DRS yet, but there's a lot of people already using their DRS, and Dewey unfortunately has had a little bit of a spin. That's why, unfortunately, there is a yellow flag in turn 3. But everyone else is trying to make some inroads. Dewey is out of the race, so there's retirement. And I wonder if there's going to be an early safety car. It won't be the first time we've seen a safety car in this league. So here we go. Sabrino has made a great move into sector 2. Probably not the move I would have done, but it was very, very brave there as well. Mr. Anchor going side by side there. He's almost gone off the track almost. A few people almost hitting the bollards there as we head past in the stadium section. Flags are waving here in Mexico. They're really keen to get the action underway. So we're now heading towards lap 2 then. The gap is now 9/10 of a second between Primos and Neon. Another yellow flag. And it's a VSC because MQ has had a bit of an off. And I wonder if he's going to go into the pit. Yes, he is going to go into the pit lane. I think Racing Stin is also going to go into the pit. So MQ on the mediums and Racing Stin on the hard compound tyres. So the field is neutralised for a bit during this virtual safety car. And don't forget, they can't speed under VSC because otherwise they will get penalised for it, and nobody will want to penalise for it. If they want to make this a one-stop race, the hards can make it, well, pretty much from quite a bit of time. The softs could, if you pick lap 13, you can go onto the hard compound tyre, as Neon gets a 5-second penalty for the collision with JC. So they didn't look like so close together to me, but with the proximity that these drivers have, it could be. So Luca, being the best out of the medium runners, he's made quite a few positions up to 10th position. And this VSC is lasting for a bit, so I wonder if a few people may go onto the hards early for a 2-stop. As Primos, no! Primos did something that I warned the drivers not to do. He has got a drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC. You can see Neon weaving all over the place there as he tries to want to get past Primos. So Primos will have to go into the pit in the next few laps because otherwise he will get disqualified. And with the DRS detection points soon, this could be the chance for the ones in DRS to get past. But this DRS train is absolutely massive, as the Tier 1 boys are experiencing right now. Don't forget, if you're liking the action on World Online Racing, don't forget to click the subscribe button and also hit that notification bell so you know when to check out our streams. Don't forget, we don't just stream PC. We stream the top tier on Xbox on Monday nights. That is commentated by Warder and Beacon. And on Fridays, we have obviously the PlayStation Tier 1 at 8 PM. That's commentated by Luke Etheridge and Logan, I believe. So I believe they'll be racing around Mexico as well. So if you're not fed up on Mexico action and you want to tune into some more action this week, make sure you do so. And make sure you do so tomorrow at 8 PM for Xbox. So Mikalev is serving his driver. I believe Neon has had the same thing. So that promotes Mark 313 as your race leader. And that was probably something that he was not expecting. We're not seeing huge overtakes yet, but I think we could see some moves, I think, for Sergio Sabrino. Let's go wide on board with it at the moment as he makes his way through these tricky little chicanes coming up, which I have to say he's coping ever so well, gaining a few positions. And the ones on the mediums are going to be in for the long haul, so the softs will die out soon. Watch out for the crossover point at around about lap 11 time. And then that's probably when they can make their ground. Mr. Anker getting a 3-second time penalty. I think we could probably expect a lot more people to get time penalties due to the nature of this track. And it has been some memorable moments, in particular in 2016, where Sebastian Vettel in the later stages, he was in a battle with the two Red Bull drivers, and the Red Bull driver cut the first corner and stayed ahead, and Vettel got a bit annoyed. He complained about the incident, and Verstappen failed to yield, and Daniel Ricciardo soon caught up to the rear of the Ferrari. So we'll see what Sabrino does then as we head towards turn number 1. Two Mercedes running in tandem, so one of the two Mercedes are working together, which seems to me they are at the moment. Again, I think Sergio could go for the move here. This could be his opportunity. No, he does not, but he is purple set to 1 though. So heading just past in into the bottom of turn 6 now. He was going to gain some ground there at the start of sector 2, but he is not going to. Now into the S is coming up the start of turn 7 all the way up to turn 11. That's how long the S section is. And a bit of spark flying by from all the cars at the moment. Mr. Anker having a great start up to 4th position. He had a good qualifying as well. And he's looking to get his first podium since China. He's used up quite a lot of his ERS though. And he can't get past lefted at the moment. Kerfuffle, I believe he started 3rd, but he's dropped all the way down into 5th position. And he would like a recovery drive from anything in order to get back from where he needs to be as well. Don't forget, there is some more experienced guys that want to be near up the front. Don't forget our championship leader, due to him getting caught up in a kerfuffle, literally, he's down in 17th position. And if this is a race where things could be looked at as where the championship could be lost, some people may think for JC it could be this race. So, and JC does not want the gap to be closed by any driver right now. And who knows, we could see a maiden win in this league, which is what we want to see, because obviously it is quite new WOR on the PC side as we head towards lap 6 of 36. Dave Rombus getting some good ground as well. And I think we're just going to see who has gained the most then. So, just give me a moment. Position changes. So, Mark's gained 5 places. Morgan Ball has gained 5. Left has gained 2. Mr. Anker's gained 4. Even though he's got a penalty, MQ's got a time penalty as well. We got a battle for the lead. Battle for the lead. Morgan Ball attacks from the inside. And he's your race leader. Brilliant move as well. But Mark has DRS. I want to be let them through for a reason, but we can see Morgan Ball's straight line speed. And no, Morgan Ball is not related to me, for those of you that are asking. Towards turn 4 now. I think Mark 313 has got better cornering speed than the Williams driver. This could help him, but this track has a lot of straights. This could be a huge disadvantage. So you've really got to fine-tune your setup to a setup that suits you. And now heading towards the S section again, and Jay's got a time penalty. I wonder if a lot of time penalties today has gone from a few drivers cutting in the S section. Do not be surprised by that. The gap now 6/10 between 1st and 2nd, so Morgan Ball pulling away. Lefted 7 tenths over. Mr. Anker, kerfuffle. Jay's in there as well. We did see someone go into the pits. That was Mr. Anker, so I wonder if he's got damage. So let's follow him into the pit lane then. And he's got no damage, so it's a strategic call. So he is doing the 2-stop. He is pulling the trigger on the 2-stop. So will we see the undercut? Will we see the likes of Morgan Ball come in? Will we see the likes of Mark come in? Or will they be sticking to the 1-stop? Let us know what you would do in the chat. Would you try and do the 2-stop or the 1-stop? Racing Stin down in 19th position. He has also got a penalty. Dave Rombus too. The penalties are flying in, ladies and gentlemen. Fair play to Josh though, he's got no penalties, he's leading his teammate. But I wonder if there's going to be some team orders between the two of them. Just like in real life with Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton. And to be honest, Mexico is a track where I also get penalties as well. I get at least one. I get at least one 3-second time penalty. I haven't raced on this game though, but I'll be racing it, I think, in 3 or 4 weeks' time. So I will get to see what it's like. I think I'm only racing it in one league out of the 3-4 leagues I'm in, so which is quite lucky because I don't like the track to race on. So, someone in the pits then. Dave Rhombus is also committing to the 2-stop most likely, as he also has a set of medium compounder tyres then. So, it'll be interesting to see where they come out from. Primoz also doing the 2-stop. I think Mr. Anka is ahead. Yes, he is ahead quite comfortably by 2.1 seconds to Dave Rhombus. JC, he's staying out, but let's watch Luca on Jay Verhaar. And yes, they are. The crossover point, I believe, is now. The softs are really starting to die. The tyre temperatures is massive around this track. If you don't get it under control, you can see the likes of Luca really start to close in the gap. Luca doing a splendid job at the moment. He's usually the one who picks up quite a lot of penalties. He's still got quite a lot of penalties, but he's usually not this high up. But I think it just goes to show the experience that he has in this league. Past the stadium section they come then. And I usually get my co-commentator to check warnings, but I don't have a co-com. So our race leaders is in Mark, is in Morgan Bull, is in the pit as well. So instead of wanting to go on the undercut on each other, they both follow each other in. So they're also going to be going for the 2-stop most likely. Or is there going to be a threat of rain? So where is Mark? So Mark, I think, comes out in the lead, is the gap that he has. But the Williams almost got him, and so did Anchor as well. Sergio and Josh, and I think Christian Tendo and Peso having a nice battle here as well. It almost went a bit slidey there, but oh my god, that was intense. Luca got past Kerfuffle, yet the soft tyres are really starting to die now. Luca's got past a lot of cars. And I wouldn't be surprised if obviously Luca gains the fastest lap very, very soon. 1 second now. He's going to be within DRS of Lefted very soon. So is that a sign for Lefted to go into the pit lane? Only one way to find out. Lefted stays out. Luca's struggling a little bit there. So Kerfuffle could gain some time here. Peso as well, if he's lucky. And a few other of the medium drivers. More action to come very, very soon. So make sure you keep an eye on WOR. Okay then, so Peso is doing a great job, and the clouds are starting to get darker then, ladies and gentlemen. So maybe they don't want to do the 2-stop because of the threat of rain. That was what I was talking about earlier on in the session. Earlier on in the session, probably the reason why they're triggering the 2-stop is because of maybe them going on the inters. This could be huge. So what are the drivers thinking about going on? Are they going to be going on a wet setup or dry setup have they got on? Obviously, there's part thermic conditions. Kerfuffle goes into the pits on medium tyres then. So I think the ones on the memes are hoping that the intermediate weather, if it does come, because it could be overcast, but the game could be like, nah, it could be sunny again. The mediums last 17 laps, but I think with the way the tyre wear is on this game, give or take a few laps. So do watch out for all the drivers then. More time penalties. Lefted is doing very well to keep it clean. One of the only drivers in the top 4 to not get a penalty. Hesso, the same thing as well. Christian Sendel. Primos. I apologise if I say the name wrong because I did get corrected in the chat, but if I did say it right now, let me know. If not, just tell me how I would say it. As Jay goes in, I think he's one of the last of the soft runners lefted who's staying out. His tyres must be stonking hot at the moment, and his tyre wear must pretty much be at puncture territory. So I wouldn't want to be these drivers in the cockpit, I have to say. These drivers are doing a good job, but I wonder if lefted is struggling for grip now. As I take a little bit of a sip of my drink, just to keep me hydrated, because obviously I'm on my own tonight. No commentator with me, but you never know. We could get one, maybe next week. We have to wait and see. So, let's see then. Sabrino is also doing quite well as well. In the 3rd place, could be on for his first podium. Lefty, I did say how well he was without getting penalties, but he must have got his second warning. So he's on his first penalty now. Lefty's into the pits. That must be absolutely the most frustrating thing you can ever see as a driver. And all that's left now is the medium runners to come in now, and they're going to hope that the inters come at a perfect time. So thank you very much for joining us so far in WOR. And I have to say, I have to agree with all of you in the chat. This has been one of the most exciting races I've ever commentated on in quite a while. In terms of strategy, Motorlight. We're on lap 14 of 36 now. Like I said, anything can happen in Formula 1. And we'll see what the gaps are. We're moving on to P4 now of WR Josh, who's got Christian Sendel. Chase for company. Neil's out of the race. Neon is out of the race. I think, unfortunately, he retired in the pit lane, so something bad must have happened to the Red Bull driver. It must have been like, and are we going to get a safety car? We got a yellow flag, which is probably, it might be he just retired in the pit. I don't know. No, he didn't retire in the pit. He binned it, I think, towards turn 4. So that is his race over. That is really, really sad. Very sad. And as the track gets cooler, the medium tyres do start to suffer a bit more. So if you're on the softer tyre, it could help you. And Jay Bahar gets past Lefty by the looks of things. But for how much longer? Lefty's on the fresher tyres. Could come into fruition here. But Jay is defending for his life here. And Jay's up to 12. Don't forget the top 10 do score points in this league. And I believe there's also the fastest. Actually, no, scrap that. There is no fastest lap point in this league. As Jay is also closing in on Days Rombers by the looks of things in P11. So Jay could definitely be on for some points, and the less penalties you get, the better. So, we'll see if many more penalties come into the fray. And speaking of that, JC has picked himself another one. And I believe he's on 9 seconds worth of penalties now, which could hurt him in the long run. He's going to hope for all the drivers' sake that there is no safety cars, personally, because otherwise his race could be pretty much over before it's begun. So Lucas still leads there in the gap, 9.1. He's absolutely loving life on those medium tyres. He's got it under control, but there is still a long way to go. We've seen a few moments in the past where we've had rain-affected races, and around Mexico as well. Now, people are going to watch out, I think, for the final sector in the rain, because if you put your car on the inside, it can be difficult for the lead car to see you coming at times, and especially with the visibility in the wet, it might mean that you lose a lot more time. So, we're seeing a four-way car fight now between Sergio, Peso and Josh for P2. And also we got a few people trying to make their way up the field as well, as Kerfuffle moves up his way into P9 so far, even though with the amount of penalties. And I wonder if I should keep the amount of penalties there are as a surprise, as we're on lap 17. Time does fly away when you're having fun. My name is Jess Ball and I'm taking you through the PC Tier 2 action tonight. And so far it has been absolutely astonishing. So thank you very much for listening, as I think Kerfuffle has got some clear air now. And the more clear air you have around Mexico, the better, as I found out when I was doing a league race around Mexico when it was starting to get into the crossover period, the changeover period before it was raining, that the more clear air you're in, the better it will become, because otherwise obviously you'll have the spray, but you won't know where to pit if you're not following under the car. So you won't know there's spray, but there could be spray on the tyres. I don't know. And we could see a grand slam of pole position, fast lap and the win, but I don't think we're going to see that tonight. June Clark received that in 1963. Morgan Ball then started, I believe, quite high up, down to 8, but don't forget that certain drivers are pitted. The medium tyres are almost at the sell-by date now. So I think the rain is not going to come until later, and if I was on the mediums, I would be absolutely kicking myself. And I mean literally, the mediums last 17 laps. So they are pushing to the limit. So I would say lap 20 should be alright. End of lap 20. If not, and if the track's still... Oh, it's raining! It's raining! Perfect timing for the medium tyre runners, but what is the intensity of the rain? That's going to be crucial. Morgan Ball gets past Mark 313. Mr. Anchor getting past Kerfuffle. I think we're starting to see the wet weather merchants come through here at WOR. Mr. Anchor then tries to defend off the inside from Kerfuffle. Then let's go on to the back of Kerfuffle. And Lefty gets past Kerfuffle actually, up to 10th place. So at the moment, Lefty is going to be getting some points. You can see the rain falling on the right hand side of Lefty's car. And on the onboard shot as well. It is coming. But when is it going to be the right time for Inters? Now for us, we know whether it's the right time because we will get the icon pop on the middle, the top middle, saying DRS disabled. And that will mean Inter's time. Bring it on. Now there's one driver that has not stopped yet, and that is ABT Sally. ABT Sally is just finding it a bit swervy at the moment. The harder the tyre is in these wet conditions, well, in the crossover period anyway, the harder it is to keep your car on the track. So if I was Sally, I would be worried at the moment. Mark 313 getting the move done on Morgan Ball this time, so I wonder if they're going to be changing position. I wonder if a few people are going to try and make moves now before the DRS gets disabled, because the DRS could be a lifeline at the moment. Here comes Peso. Absolutely control move from him as well. Christian Sendel going late on the brakes now. George Morgan has been talking about Christian Sendel for quite a long time, saying he's the next best thing. Well, Christian Sendel has got no penalties, and if he could keep winning the likes of Peso and Josh, he could be on for his first podium in a long time that I've ever seen, and that could be absolutely amazing for the Alfa Romeo driver. His time management looks perfection as well. He's able to close in on every single driver. And Luca's doing a great job as well. 10 seconds, Sally's out the race. So the hards on a track where it's getting a little bit damp at the moment is just not good. Safety car. Wow, wow, wow. This has turned the race on its head, ladies and gentlemen. We could get a lot of strategy calls right here, right now. We could potentially see people go onto the intermediate tyres, and I had a feeling somebody was going to go for the gamble. Mr. Anchor has gone for the gamble, and he's on the intermediate tyres. But will it be enough? You are allowed to pit under safety car conditions, don't forget. But will it be wet enough before the end of the safety car? That is my question. I don't think it's the right time to be on now. But we're under safety car. You won't be losing too much position. But the worry is for Mr. Anchor, he may lose it. And he may lose position due to it. He may just go wide a little bit there. So watch out for Mr. Anchor. He's going to hope that the rain is going to go down even more. And then pretty much have a damp track at the end of the safety car. Now, Luca's gone for a spin. Luca's gone for a spin from the race lead. He's absolutely bottled it, and he's almost hit Sergio Sabrina, and Sergio took the race lead. That was a bottle that Luca did not see coming. That was absolutely heartbreaking to see for Luca. Will everybody go for the gamble on the Inters? Luca's gone for softs. There's a lot of people going for softs. They do not think it's the right time for Inters. Or maybe they forgot to change onto intermediate tyres in the MFD. I don't know. So it's either a strategy masterclass for Sabrino or a strategy masterclass for Luca. I don't have a clue. I've never seen it like that in league racing. I don't know who's on the right strat. I had exactly the similar situation in Austria a few weeks ago. But in a different scenario, it was drying up. And it was a safety car pulling up towards the end, because it was around about the 45-minute mark on our slots that it said it was going to dry up and be a completely dry track. Quite a lot of people went on to softs. I stayed out on the intermediate tyres. And it turned out that if you went and pitted on the softs, it was the wrong decision. And because of that, I benefited it. And I got my first ever league racing podium, which I have to say, I still treasure to this day. I got it a couple of weeks ago, and that is a moment I will remember in league racing forever. I don't think I'm going to get another league racing podium on this game. So I've made the most of it, but you never know. We could see people's debut podiums here in WOR as well. I think it's damp now for Inters. I don't know. Let's go on board with Luca actually on the softs. because he's got a few cars in front of him. It's a little bit touch and go. I don't know what I would do. It's easy to know what to do if it was a wet to dry scenario, but if it's a dry to wet, I always get it wrong. I always get it wrong. And it's slippery now. Christian Sender has left the session. And I wonder if it was due to a disconnect. Peso has left the session. So I am going to check the Discord, but I do not have them as a friend on Steam, so I can't invite them, sadly. And the track, it's slippy now. It's slippy. It's Inters. It's definitely Inters. I'm going on board. Yeah, it's Inters. It's Inters. The track is crawling. The DRS sign's going to be disabled. Luca's even struggling. I think Luca's going to struggle in the S's. The ones on the softs have to pit. The ones on the softs, I think, made the wrong decision. They didn't think the rain was going to come down soon enough. Sergio will be your race lead by quite some margin. And JC also made the right decision as well. We could go from like 15th to like 2nd. So let's see what the soft runners do. This must be heartbreaking for them. That has come at a very bad time. But that's what happens in league racing. Unfortunately, you have to take a bite out of a cherry, as it were. That was a very slippy bit, actually. So, lefted comes in. And we've got Luca. Oh, Luca, what are you doing? Luca's staying out. I thought there would be more people going into the pit lane. I thought there would be more people going into the pit lane and going on to Inters, but they're not. Luca's staying on the soft. So is Josh, Higgsy, Mark, Morgan on the mediums. Jay, I wonder if they should have gone on Inters. Have they made the wrong decision? Jay Steve's going to be up to 2nd place at this rate, which is good news for him. Thank you to all of those of you that are watching so far. Let us know what you would do. Would you have boxed for Inters now? Because the track is so slippery. If I was them, I probably would be crawling right now. That'll just be an absolute nightmare. And I wonder if we saw the DRS disable some. We might have, but to be honest, I wasn't paying attention. We're going to be heading towards lap 25. Will we see the safety car come in this lap, maybe? I don't know. So, safety car is in this lap then. So, Sergio, he's probably going to have the best restart of his life where everybody else is going to be crawling. Well, it might just be a spectator glitch where it's still dry enough for sauce, but on our end it's not. But I don't know. So, Sergio then. Let's see if he gets a better getaway then. And Flip said he would have gone to sleep by now. Fair play. No one's following the safety car in apart from Mark and Anchor. Sergio's got an incredible getaway. Surely the Inters are enough now. Luca is being absolutely swamped by the likes of George and Higgsy. Higgsy, where did that start come from? That was incredible. Kerfuffle as well has got a penalty, but we got to not worry about that. There could be an opportunity for many mistakes to be made here. Like I said, I do not want to beat any of those drivers. Josh is up to 3rd right now. Higgsy up to 4th. Jay in 5th position. The intermediate runners are flying. JC is from 15th. He's now in 7th. And look at the traction that he's gaining on the soft runners. Surely that's a sign. If there's not a sign, if the soft runners do not pit, I don't know what they're going to do. Look at this. JC's got past them at a very tricky corner. JC's now up to 5th. Yellow flag, that is lefted. left it on the inters and he's out the race and he's retired on track, and I don't think you are allowed to retire on track, unfortunately. So I think that would be a penalty coming his way. Lucas they're staying out. MQ's out the race. Are they just taking the risk of track position? MQ's out, safety car. If you haven't passed the pit lane yet, would you go for inters? Kerfuffle surely has got to go for inters. No, but he does not. Surely the soft runners have probably seen JC just storm away, just go ahead of a lot of cars. I just don't know. But since there's no spray, that's probably why they're staying out. I just don't have a clue at this point. I really don't know. This is what I like about this, for us being in an unknown situation, as it were. And that is WOR for you. If you thought that Tier 1 was crazy enough, welcome to Tier 2, ladies and gentlemen, where the drivers don't even know what's the best tyre to be on. And even I don't know what the best tyre to be on is. So, Sergio is probably going to milk this moment, but he does know he's got a few penalties. So, the likes of Christian Sendel and Peso could be back in this race. They could be on the podium. They could be on their first podium in a while. Peso, don't forget, is a reserve driver. Peso could get his maiden podium on debut. That will just be... I just have to say, that would be absolutely insane. The soft runners are staying out, but Jay Verhaert, what does he go on? Does he go on another set of softs? Wait a minute. He's on another set of softs. Oh, I thought that the inters was enough, but I wonder the track is drying up. Right, let's go on board with Jay. Still raining. It is a tough call. I wouldn't want to be in the driver's cockpit right now. And to be honest, I don't want to be their Jets either, because I probably would be scared to make the wrong call for them. So Sergio Sobrano is your race leader. Sobrino, not Sobrano. I think I said his name wrong for the whole race, so I do apologise. So Sergio Sobrino leads the race. Luca in second, Josh in third, Higgsy in fourth, and I think, yeah, Sergio is using the Jarno Opmir strategy, but Sergio started, I think, 10th, 11th. Actually, let me get the spectator menu up. I've got hotkeys on my Stream Deck, so I should be able to get it. So, track positions. So, he did start near the back. He did start near the back. And Primos and JC are in. Wait. Hold on. Are they going on softs as well? What is... Are they going on fresh inters? Peso's going on softs. JC's going on... What is going on? The track could be drying up, but I don't know. Maybe Sergio could be on the wrong call. Oh my God. This race has had a few topsy-turvy things, but yeah, Sergio started from 19th and he's first at the moment. Luca's gained 10 positions, Josh has gained 8, Higgsy's gained 10, and I think you can see the sun starting to peak up. Decisions. But if you make the wrong call, it could cost your chance of a podium. Or would you want to take the risk? How would you want to take the risk? And Christian Sendel saying, how is your AI still in the race? Christian, I do not know. Right, let's go on board with Sergio at the moment. It stopped raining. It stopped raining. That's probably why a lot of these drivers were on the soft tyres. I can see why they didn't go onto a set of intermediates. Oh, this must be heartbreaking for Sergio, who looked like he had a strategic masterclass. He has to pit for softs now, surely. He has to pit for softs. Oh, I feel so gutted for him, for Sergio, but Luca's back in this race. That's why everyone was rushing to go onto the softs. I think they were very lucky to pit onto the softs. Now, penalties. Now, your AI does have no penalties, Christian, but the non-AIs, the only one that has no penalties is Peso. So, Peso is doing a great job keeping it penalty free, and I don't know how he does it because he's an absolute alien, but there we go. So thank you for listening so far. If you're liking the action, don't forget to subscribe, hit that thumbs up and hit that notification bell as well. And yes, it could have been a win. It could have been the last to first challenge. I'm gutted. I'm absolutely gutted for him, and I think everybody in the chat is probably gutted for him as well. But it leaves a strategy right open. Let's look at the penalties. Luca on 9 seconds. Josh on 3 seconds. Higgsy on 3. Primos on 3. Kafuffle on 6. Jay's on 6. JC's on 6. Dave Rombers on 6. Mark's on 6. Morgan Ball's on 15. Mr. Anker's on 6. Racing Stin is on 9. And Sergio Sabrino is on 14 seconds. Peso is on none. He can jump right to the front of the field. And safety car is in this lap then. Luca has got a massive 9 seconds worth of penalties, and unfortunately Christian could not rejoin, he said in the chat, which is absolutely gutting for him. But, you know, it does happen in league racing. Unfortunately, the game does not allow to rejoin sometimes. It's like that on PlayStation as well. So, Luca then is controlling the field right now. Racing Stin's got a 5-second penalty with a severe collision. What's happened there? So, Peso went from 10th to last, and there's a few positions being made already. Let's get the tyres back up so I can actually see some Liddell's as well. Jay Bahia is off to a great start as well. He's already up into full plate. He's going to try and go past on the inside of the Alpine then. Into turn 1 as well. Luca, oh no, Jay's got to a bit of a spin then. Just before turn 2, Josh got past Luca. Josh is in the race lead then. Luca in second, Primos in third, Dave Rombus. Where did that start come from? He's all the way up into P4. Higgsy is up into 5th place. Morgan Ball then past Mark 313 into 7 positions. Their positions going up all over the place. Sergio, don't forget, had to go into the pits, but he's already caught up. Sergio's already caught up, so maybe the points could still be on the cards for him, which could be a relief for him. My oh my, so much action has happened on the first safety car lap. Unfortunately, Jay has dropped down into P15. Peso has unfortunately not got off to the greatest of restarts either. Let's get the penalties up again. 3 seconds for Josh. So as it stands, Josh will be winning this race. Yellow flag. That is, I believe, a Red Bull of Kerfuffle. Kerfuffle has unfortunately had a bit of a spinneroonie, so he's a little bit further away from the rest of the field. And Racing Stin has got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And unfortunately he has retired, so we're down on 14 runners of this Mexican Grand Prix. And to be honest, I've been loving every minute of it, and I hope you guys are too. Great to see the viewers coming in for the Tier 1 stream. Hope you're all doing well. And you're just about to witness the final 5 laps of the Mexican Grand Prix. It started off dry. It started off raining, but it was not enough to go on to Indus for some of these drivers. Some people in the safety car were braving the softs just to stay out until this point. And it worked, and they were very lucky to get that second safety car. If they didn't have that second safety car, they probably would have gone on Indus for a few laps and then gone for softs again. And I'm a bit worried that Mr. Anker's out of the race as well. Mr. Anker's retired in the S's. He's retired in the S's, unfortunately. He's going forward with kerfuffle. Let me see. Could I go on board with him, or will Mr. Anker's car go away? I think it's gone away now, so I wasn't able to see him, unfortunately. But anyway, Morgan Ball then, who's dropped a bit of ground. Morgan Ball's on a whopping 23 seconds of penalties. If he's not careful, Morgan Ball is going to be getting disqualified, which is not what he wants. But he's got a prancing horse Ferrari chasing him down into turn 2 and 3. My oh my. So Morgan Ball stays in P6. Higgsy, he's got Sergio right in front of him as well. I have to say, these PT boys are definitely pulling off a great show. Make sure that you stay watching until the end of this stream, because to be honest, it's been absolutely incredible. Thank you to the faithful viewers that are watching this stream at the moment. And do not tune out, because it's going to be an epic finale. And DRS could come into fruition. Let's watch Mark then. Mark is on the back of Higgsy as we head towards the stadium section now, which I absolutely love on this game, but I always get it wrong on this game. I always do. So you pass into turn 16 and 17 now. And Mark, what we've got to keep an eye on is the driver's ERS. And the track's brightening up as well, so the track temperatures could increase. And Mark's straight line speed was amazing there, but I wonder if Higgs is going to cover him off. We got a battle for P2. And, oh no, Primal's had a bit of a spin. He was on for P2. And now he's dropped all the way into P9. A lot of people are starting to make a lot of mistakes here. That is gutting. What's happened to Dave Rombers all of a sudden? Dave Rombers could be on for P2. And quite a lot of people on 6 seconds, so this could be for track position. Oh my god. And I thought this race couldn't get crazy enough. This is just crazy. And absolutely intense. I don't know which way it's going to go. And I don't even know who's going to win this race. And there's somebody saying this is more interesting than T1. Well, I don't know what went on in Tier 1, so I can't say yes or no. But I'm sure Tier 1 was just exciting as well, which I'm definitely going to watch back after this. But Dave Rombus then. He's got the DRS. Josh does not have the DRS, but the advantage that Josh has, he has 3 seconds. Dave Rombus has 6. So Dave Rombus, if he gets past, oh, look at this, Luca, all of a sudden, it's like, you know what? If you can't make the move on, Josh, I'm going to try to. You almost had a bit of a tang slapper going into turn 3. Going to be 3 abreast, now heading towards turn 4. Luca's not going to get the race win. Oh, that could have almost been a spin. How on earth did they save that? That was incredible. They're almost going off the track. Oh, I have to say, this is the craziest end to a league race I've ever commentated on, and it's on my own. And Christian is praying for his Sendal bot to do well. Well, he's currently sitting in P11. And he's 1 place below the points. 5 seconds away, so it could happen. Even though it won't count, but still, it's a bit of fun. So, after this lap then, we will have 2 more laps to go of this race. And we will know the outcome. Josh could be on for a race win. Dave Rombus could be on for a race win. I don't know. So JC, look at this. JC could be on for a comeback drive and a half. Look at that straight line speed. He could get past Luke as well. Absolutely sensational. He's showing why he is the championship leader of WOR Tier 2. He is your race leader. And he's going to try and see if he can pull away and get the gap up to 3 seconds on Josh. That is the crucial thing. He's got to keep an eye on the delta between himself and Josh. Dave Rombus and Luca going side by side into turn 6. Well, almost into turn 6. We're not quite near turn 6 yet. They're banging wheels. You've got to be careful not to push each other off the track and going into an incident. Oh my God, I'm always losing my voice and they make contact. Luca's gone for a bit of a spin and I'm sure there's going to be a steward's inquiry for that. So Luca was in the points and now he's going to be dangerously out of the points. There's Sergio that's also gone for a bit of a spin. So it'll be interesting to see how this will be after penalties. I just don't have a clue. I can't do maths. I got C in GCSE, okay? I've done it like 10 years ago. I got my GCSE 10 years ago because obviously I did my GCSEs from like 2009 to 2011, so long time ago. 10 years just goes by so quickly for me. It's just insane. Anyway, Luca's out of the race. He's probably given up in frustration. I'm definitely heartbroken for him, but it's been a crazy last couple of laps. But anyway, I think we're down to... I think it's kerfuffle on AI as well. Because if we are, I think we're down to 9 drivers. Because I think the rest are AI. I don't have a clue, to be honest. But I don't think JC is going to get the gap to what he needs to get that race victory. I think Josh, as long as Josh does not get a single penalty from this moment forward, he'll get the win. If he gets a penalty, he's lost the win. So, all these three are going into the stadium section. The confetti is rolling in now. And we got Dave Rombus as well coming across the line. So it's JC that cross the line, P1 on track. But it is Josh that wins. JC, what a comeback drive and a half. He extended his championship lead, I think, in second. Dave Rombus gets a podium. Mark in fourth. Primos in fifth. Higgsy sixth. Jay, after that spin, what a recovery drive from him. He goes into P7. The AI bot of Christian Sendel's in P8. And we got Pezzo in 9th. Morgan in 10th. Sergio in 11th. And Kerfuffle will be your last finisher. But what the amount of penalties people have got was amazing. But that is Mexico for you. And we have to wait 2 or 3 weeks for another race. I don't want to be waiting that long for a race. I mean, the real life drivers will be racing in Mexico next week. This is making me even more excited for that. But we have to wait long for the next one. I don't really want to now, but what? It started off quiet at the start, but what? A great final half of the race. None of us knew, even none of us in the chat knew what was going to happen. And my voice is almost gone. And I've got commentary tomorrow as well. So, hopefully my voice recovers by then, which it should do. It should do. But anyway, we're just going to let the podium celebrations play through. A German on the top, and we also got a German on Australian as well. And yes, 2 or 3 weeks, yeah. I think the next race, I'll need to check when the next race is. Because according to the calendar, they may have got it wrong, I don't know. 21st of November is our next race in Portugal. I'm losing count on the weeks here, so it might be my fault, Jay. But anyway, Josh wins from JC, Dave Rombus, Mark, Primos, Higgsy, Jay, Christian Sendel, Peso, Morgan Ball, and Sergio. And Kerfuffle, your finishers. Then your retirements are unfortunate for Luca, Mr. Anker, Racing Stint, MQ, Lefted, Salit, Neon, and Derry. And apologies if I said that wrong. And I wonder if there's going to be quite a few stewards inquiries after that. I don't have a clue, but we'll just have to wait and see. And hopefully a few people's internet will be fixed by then. I wonder if we can actually see the podium interviews. I would like to hear from Josh, because Josh, I think, played the strategy to perfection. I mean, it was just incredible. We thought that the McLaren driver got the strategy right, but we didn't know it was going to dry up. I thought it was just going to be a dry to wet race. So it caught me off guard as a commentator as well, and I kind of like races like that. It's just crazy. So I'm going to have a little bit of a lie down after this and recover as to what has been such a great race. Thank you guys so much for watching WOR Tier 2. We had a peak of 36 viewers that have been watching the stream, which I have to say, it was quite a lot tonight. And I know a lot of you were out for Halloween and watching Tier 1, so I have to say that's a win in my book. So thank you for watching. We'll be back on November 21st. I'm almost certain it's November 21st. Or it's either November 14th. Either one, you'll see us then for the Portuguese Grand Prix. I'm excited for the 2 new tracks to be raced at on this game by our lovely Tier 2 drivers, and I know you are too. So, for myself, Jess Gamer 95, have a good rest of your Halloween, or what's left of it, and if you get any trick-or-treaters, show them some love. So, we will see you soon. Have a good night, and see you next week. Goodbye.
Antoine is going to be crowned your WR Season 10 champion.
And history's been made. Ballina, the first WOR PS4 champion. What a championship! What a season! Absolutely phenomenal!